On this very important show today, Lieutenant General Raj Shukla, former Army commander, joins us on the broadcast. Major General Dhruv Katoch is with us on the show as well. Major Mohammed Ali Shah, defense expert, joins us on this all-important issue. Last but by no means the least, Mr. Pathikrit Pine, international affairs expert, is also with us on the broadcast. Right, Mohammed Ali Shah, this is Sri Lanka that we're talking about. You know, they've given away Hambantota to China. This is a small piece of land. And look what India has done for them when they were, going through an extremely, debilitating economic crisis.
Preet, you're absolutely right. I totally concur 100% from what General Raj Shukla said. Very right. One of the best and the most sensible and mature analysis I've ever heard, Vineet. So the very fact is, I will just, since he mentioned about history, I'll take you back again. And it's the product of the 14th century volcanic eruption, Katchatheevu, which is relatively new in the geological timescale. Now, in the early medieval period, Vineet, it was controlled by the Jaffna kingdom of Sri Lanka. And in the 17th century, the control was passed to the Ramnad Zamindari based out of Ramanathapuram and the which is northwest of Rameshwaram. Now, if we see, the only structure on the island is an early 20th century Catholic shrine, that's St. Anthony's Church, which is very famous over there, in fact. Now, during an annual festival, the Christian priests from both India and Sri Lanka, they had conducted a service, and the devotees from both India and Sri Lanka had made pilgrimage. Now, last year, in 2023 only, I would say again, 2,500 Indians had made the journey to Katchatheevu from Rameshwaram for the festival. Now, Katchatheevu is not suited for permanent settlement as there is no source of drinking water on the island, and even though it might be small, but the very fact it is our land, so the mistake, the agreement that the Congress had done in the 70s, it was, I would say, a grave mistake. It was a blunder in goodwill or whatever, I don't know, but the very fact was a blunder. Now, Katchatheevu is a 285-acre uninhabited speck in the Park Strait. Now, which is between India and Sri Lanka. It has more than 1.6 kilometers in length and slightly over 300 meters wide at its broader point. It lies northwest of Rameshwaram and about 33 kilometers from the Indian coast. It's about 62 kilometers southwest of Jaffna and the northern tip of Sri Lanka.
Ali?
Attorney General in 2014 in Supreme Court, he had said, Mr. Mukul Rotogi, he had said that the only way to regain back Katchatheevu Island back to India is to go on a war with Sri Lanka. This is what the Attorney General had said in 2014 in Supreme Court. And that's the only way. Unfortunately, I see it as a mistake until 1974. It wasn't resolved. And it became a part of the Madras presidency during the British Raj. But in 1921, Vineet, both India and Sri Lanka at that time, with the British colonies, claimed Katchatheevu in order to determine fishing boundaries. Now, when they've arrested our fishermen till 2009, in fact, there was not much of issue, which is quite recent, in fact. After that, they have been arresting our fishermen, and this matter was taken up also. Now, the very fact is, Indra Gandhi gave up this island without consulting. That's what my understanding is. Without consulting Tamil Nadu government, which I believe should have been consulted. Now, the very fact is, Indra Gandhi also, it's not that Congress was very popular that time, and she was a very, very strong prime minister, but a lot of people did not like her as well. But they didn't have the microphone at that time, or to speak against her. Unlike in today's world, there's Twitter, there's social media, people can voice their concerns. Those days, they were not. So, there was a survey which was marked on Katchatheevu in Sri Lanka, but a British delegation from India challenged this, and citing ownership of the island, the Ramanan kingdom. Now, dispute was, as I mentioned to you, the dispute was not settled until 1974. Now, the very fact is, we have been trying now, the issue has waked up now. So people would ask, why now? Well, it's not about why now. At least some point of time, it's waked up. It's our territory, it was our land. So the very fact is, there would have been no problem if, like in a democracy, if you consult people, if you take their suggestions, the state government for that matter, then it's fair enough. I mean, one can concede with it. But now it has angered a lot of Indians because our inch of a land, we as soldiers, we die for it. Now again, the very fact that the Indian Navy has been doing a great job in show that as we speak right now at this point of time, there are over 5,000 naval personnel deployed in operations in sea, risking their life. There are over 800 flying time of our aviators who are totally unmindful of their own personal safety. So now tell me one thing. It's a very, very logical question I would put up to the entire country, in fact. See, being totally apolitical about anything, but is it fair enough to concede to any inch of a land which actually originally rightly belongs to us? And later on, we are questioned of it. It was our magnanimity, it was our generosity. I would like to conclude quickly by citing an example. I know of a family in Missouri who have a house down and up. And now the owner of the house gave a bit of their entrance of a land to the neighbors, thinking, okay, he will get exclusive passage at least, because there was a common passage. But that was again, now whether you perceive it as a good gesture with a larger picture, or you see it as a
great points, Ali. Obviously, everybody's weighed in with important observations and suggestions.